How's it going today, guys? Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at a budget mid-range product, and actually a couple products coming from Teak Tuning. If you're unfamiliar with Teak, I assume that you haven't been in fingerboarding very long, and that's totally okay. But giving backstory, if you are unfamiliar with Teak, Teak Tuning is a company that's been around for quite a bit. They started out making bushings and they've moved into a very large catalog. Teak has a super large catalog of products. You can find them on Amazon, you can find them on their own site, and it's something that a lot of people think of when they think of Teak is the cheaper spectrum of fingerboarding. And it might take a little bit of searching, but you'll be surprised to find that Teak actually has two spectrums of their catalog, where they have their cheaper China stuff that is mass-produced, that is intended for newer fingerboarders who don't have to spend so much money. And then you have the higher spectrum, which we're going to be looking at today, which compared to a lot of other brands, I still consider mid-spectrum, just like mid-price-wise, not mid as in performance. These things are, you know, $20 to $30, sometimes $40, and are going to give you a good amount of performance, and it's going to be way better quality compared to something like $10 CNC wheels or $10 China trucks. So I'm stoked to be taking a look at this because there is a kind of quality dip when it comes to price that you're paying when it comes to fingerboard stuff. So, you know, you're at the highest spectrum, you're paying $50 to $60 for decks, $45 to $70 for trucks, $40 to $50 for wheels. Those items are very high quality, are gonna give you what you want, but they're very expensive. Not everybody can afford that. And if you want a better experience than just straight China stuff where everything is $10 to $20 or $10 to $15 and sucks, I'll be honest, they suck, you have a mid-range. And there's not as many products in the mid-range as there is compared to the expensive spectrum and the cheap spectrum. But I think Teak does the middle spectrum very, very well. He sent these out to me to take a look at, and I just want to say thank you to Teak. If you have a second, comment in the comment section. Thank you, Teak, because we're very appreciative of them sending product over to me to get some reviews in. Maybe you'll see something new that you haven't seen before. Who knows? But I have the package here. I do know what's in it, but I am gonna, you know, pull everything out individually and give you guys a look at what we got. I'll go over the prices of everything, and then I'm gonna test them out and see how I like them. So let's take a look. So I've got the package right here. I opened it already. You know me. I don't want you to have to sit here and watch me fumble with a package. So,
phrasing?
So first thing I'm gonna do is pull out the packing slip just so that I can give you guys the pricing in real time. And we can, you know, pull things out and take a look. First thing we've got, these are their Prodigy Gen 2 trucks. It's gonna be a little hard to see because they're kind of all apart. They are $14.99, so around the same as Hex trucks. So I'm gonna be looking at these like I look at Hex trucks. One of the cool things that I do think that these have over Hex trucks is these come with a set of Teak's bubble bushings, which Teak Tuning's bubble bushings are really good. I think as far as bushings, I put them top 5 personally. I wouldn't put them at number 1. For me right now, I really like my bunny tails, and Level Up is also really good. But bubble bushings from Teak are super good. One of the products of theirs that's been around for quite a long time, since probably 2016 or 2017 when they started. I can't remember personally how long they've been around, but I'm excited to look at these, and I'm going to be throwing on the bubble bushings right away, so that might give them a hedge over the Hex trucks, but since they're pretty much the exact same price, I'm going to be looking at these in the same way. All right, next up, I picked up these are Apex new street wheels. These are a 77D urethane, and they have ultra spin bearings. These look really nice. Honestly, taking a look at their shape, they kind of remind me a lot of Ill Pills, but they are a 77D, which is normally around where I go for wheels. If you're unfamiliar with the hardness scale of urethane, I'll put this right here, where it goes from lower A to higher D. So if you're looking at something that's like a 100A or a 99A, that's gonna be around a like 50D. And then when you get into the 60s and 70Ds, that's a lot harder than A. So these are 77D, so these are quite on the harder spectrum. And personally, I really enjoy hard wheels. Soft wheels just kind of grip a little too much for my comfort. That's just a set of wheels I'm actually really stoked for. These are their new street wheels. These are 65D all-terrain polymer, and these are ABEC 8 bearings. Put them over here, they're just white. Kind of shaped like Piros, if I'll be honest with you. Maybe a little thinner or smaller than Piros, but they have that large white wheel. These are 65Ds, so they are going to be a little bit softer than the other set that I have. So these are also considered all-terrain. So they're going to be, I don't really know what makes them all-terrain. I'll be completely candid with you. I'm excited to see what the difference is. I'm definitely going to be trying these outside, so maybe we'll get some street clips in this video, which doesn't happen a lot from your boy, but we'll try. Got to test everything to the fullest, so if these are going to claim that they're all-terrain, we're going to give it a try. I'm putting the 77 New Street on my main setup. And something I'm already noticing is these bearings free spin really well. Putting them on one of my main chakra decks with some BRTs and some bunny tail bushings, and they're looking pretty good. I picked this color out specifically because I knew it was going to match this deck really well. So these are the 77D New Street wheels. I really like how they look. Their shape does remind me a lot of Ill Pills, maybe just a little wider, definitely wider. Something I was just talking about with these while I was putting them on, these have a crazy free spin. So if you are somebody who really likes your wheels to spin freely and, you know, like skateboard wheels should, some fingerboard wheels don't necessarily do that, these have a crazy free spin. The 77D wheels, these are the New Street Apex wheels. These are $26.99. And then these all-terrain polymers that I'll be putting on a deck, these are $29.99. Decent pricing all around when it comes to fingerboard products. When you look at things like wheels, a lot of the time with Piros and Ill Pills and stuff like that, you're looking at $45 to $50 a set. So that's quite a steep difference. So if we're looking at something that is going to be on the same quality or even just a comparable quality, it's going to be something that we'll definitely consider. So I'm putting on the all-terrain polymer wheels on another one of my main setups right now. These are very slippy. They are a little bit softer than the street wheels that we were just looking at, but they are still decently hard. These are the all-terrain polymers. They're definitely slippier. All right, so I have the trucks done, set up on the 32, and honestly, they look really nice. I do really enjoy the fact that they taper off with the hangers, which I know isn't asking a lot for fingerboard trucks because it's kind of second nature, but a lot of China trucks have that issue. So when you're talking about cheaper budget options for trucks, it's something that you have to think about. I did put the bubble bushings on there. They honestly, I did a couple tricks. They feel kind of nice. Having the bubble bushings on this is definitely going to make these trucks feel a lot better than just the standard O-rings that China trucks normally come with. And some people might think that's kind of cheating, but honestly, if you take the price of the bubble bushings and minus it from the $14.99 that these trucks are, you're paying even less for the trucks and you're getting a great set of bushings included. So honestly, that's a huge plus for these right out the gate, and I haven't even actually reviewed them yet. So over the next week, we're gonna have a lot of stuff to look at and a lot of stuff to review. Gen 2 Prodigy trucks, 77D street wheels, 65D ATP, the all-terrain polymer wheels. There you go. Let's cut to some clips. Let's cut to some secondary thoughts. I don't really know what I have planned going on forward, but we'll see. Future Brenny has it figured out. Present day Brenny, not so much.
3 weeks later.
This part of the video, you guys are going on a trip, little walk with me. I need to go to the post office and mail out a deck that I am trading with a homie. Thought it would be better a time than ever than to test out these all-terrain wheels on some all-terrain. So I'm gonna go down to the post office and send this board out, and then I'm gonna go down to my favorite outdoor spot that's in the pretty immediate area of my apartment, and we're gonna get some clips and see how these wheels feel. Well, I might not have fully thought this through because it rained last night and it's kind of drizzling a little bit right now, so it might be wet when we get to the spot, but we'll still be able to test them out. I mean, all-terrain is all-terrain, isn't it? We just got to walk straight down this road. Post office is on the right, and won't be too long until we can get to the spot too. The spot's in the immediate area. So the spot we're heading to, right down that alley. I was gonna go to the post office first, but I realized I don't have the address yet. I need to wait until he messages me back. So we're gonna head to the spot really quick. The spot that we like to hit up is right here. It's this little dock, perfect type for fingerboarding. These metal pieces that are like tilted upwards. So this makes a perfect kicker, And this actually is really good too. It is a little wet, still be able to get a feel. Gonna lie, these wheels so far have been super awesome. They're very slick inside, so I feel like outside it's gonna be perfect. Ooh. Okay. So that's definitely there where they catch. These are slick on every other surface. They catch here, so definitely what they're meant for is outside. So it's very obvious that those wheels' specialty is outdoors. Very slippy on things like countertops and some woods. When it comes to outdoors, you're on concrete, you're on blacktop. These don't slick. They actually stick pretty good. So I would say that if you were looking for outdoor exclusive set of wheels, check these out because they're pretty fire. So I realized that I came to this spot and didn't do my obligatory tray flip over this. So I'm gonna do that really quick. So my bro hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'm one of the weird dudes who has Monday off. Most people actually work Mondays, so I am gonna go back home and film more. All right, so we're back at the house, and I take the dogs out, get them some breakfast, and then we're gonna continue filming. I did want to mention though, that tray flip felt super good. Like, for outdoor wheels, I think those are gonna be like the standard. Come on, baby. There you go. This is Marcy. Come on, doll. There you go. Your big head through there. All right. They sniffing. Look at those butts. This might actually be the first time that I'm showing them in the YouTube videos. I'm sure you were probably expecting that after we got back from walking the dogs that we were gonna go back inside, talk about the wheels some more, and we actually did. But unfortunately, what ended up happening during editing, some of the clips got messed up. Some of them I wasn't super stoked about. So what I ended up having to do is pretty much trash the second half of the video. And yeah, so we're about a week later from the clips that you just saw previously, and this wasn't a super heavy fingerboarding video, so I do apologize for that. But in an effort to apologize for the video not being super clip heavy and also losing half of the original video, I'm gonna be spoiling some things for future videos that you weren't going to know about otherwise. And obviously we're gonna just review the products that we were looking at. So the products we were looking at were the Gen 2 Prodigy trucks, 77D wheels, and the ATP 65D wheels. There are a couple things that I want to note with the trucks. The trucks were pretty much your standard China. I don't think there was really anything too much that actually made them different from, you know, another pair of China trucks, which Chinas are still fine. I would just say that if you have the ability to purchase a pair of trucks that is a little more expensive than China's, maybe go with something like Dynamics, even Hex trucks, which are a little more expensive. But Gen 2 Prodigy trucks have something very specific about them that I want to bring attention to. You're paying $15 for these Gen 2 Prodigy trucks. And something I mentioned previously is these China trucks come with a set of Teak's bubble bushings, which their bubble bushings are about $7.50. I think some of them are on sale right now for like $5, $6. So they're really decent bushings, and something to note is that China trucks, and their biggest downfall is how bad their tuning is. The China trucks already have not too many good things going for them, whether it's their turning radius or their wheelbase or things like that. These China trucks are honestly not bad. They're just not anything crazy. They're pretty standard, or maybe a little above standard when it comes to China trucks. And the main reason why I mention the bushings is it's a really, really big plus. You're paying $15 for these trucks. The bushings are $5 to $7 depending on when you buy them. Their normal retail is like $7.50, I think. So you're paying like $7 to $8 for these trucks at most, because you're also getting the bushings with them. So you're paying way less than what you normally would for a pair of trucks, and it's coming with these bushings. And that's gonna immediately out of the package make them feel a lot better than any other China truck would. One of the things that I think that those trucks even had over Hex trucks is that they come with the bubble bushings, and the bubble bushings are really good. Hex trucks just come with standard O-rings, which for them work really well, and they're still super great trucks, but China's have not very good tuning, so you still probably would want to upgrade even with the Hex trucks so that they feel a little bit better. With the Gen 2 Prodigies, you don't really have to do that. So if Hex trucks are like standard for China trucks right now, I would put the Gen 2s slightly under, because the bushings really make the whole experience way better. As for the wheels, next we're going to look at these 77Ds. I really liked these. I think these are a sleeper. I think a lot of people need to try these. They're really solid wheels. I had a lot of fun using these, and they're actually going to stay on this setup, which is pretty crazy because this is my main. I use this pretty much every day. I have one other main that I use about as much as this one. So I'm going to be using these daily. So if I'm going to be using these daily, you need to realize that that's pretty big, because normally I use ill pills, I use Pyros, I use some of the best wheels in the game. So if I'm going to be swapping out ill pills for a pair of $26 Teak wheels, I don't think I really need to say much else. Something I will note is it feels like the bearings have slowed down just a little bit, which I don't think that has to do with slipping or anything like that. I have taken the wheels off and looked. I think they're just getting dirty, so I need some speed cream or something like that just to lube them up a little bit, and they'll be back. Last but not least, man, these ATP wheels. These were very interesting. ATP wheels are 65D, they're $29.99, which I don't think I compared it much earlier, but 65D is the same hardness scale as Pyros. So they're not a very hard wheel, but they're not an overly soft wheel. But something that you kind of need to note is when it comes to softer wheels like Pyros, and when you get on the softer spectrum, even when you go into the A's, the softer you get, the more grip you get with wheels. These don't grip on pretty much anything. Okay, scratch that. They do grip on concrete outside, like you saw in that clip earlier, which is literally the only clip in this entire video, which again, I apologize for. We just had some difficulties, but these wheels were actually super good. I was really impressed with them. I think I'm going to personally keep them in my decent bit case and use them for outdoor fingerboarding and fingerboarding on parks at events. You go to wood or when you go to concrete, these wheels come into their own. They really start to grasp. They don't feel like they stick as hard. If you took something like a 65 to 70D wheel, maybe even a little bit harder, and used it on a countertop where there's just barely any catch, there's a good amount of movement and squeak, that is what these wheels feel like outdoors on concrete, which is really impressive, because if you fingerboard outside at all, you know that when you use any type of wheel, it honestly does not matter, any type of wheel and the hardness, it's going to catch on everything and you are going to feel everything. One of the clips that I actually ended up having was outside around the corner from that little red loading dock that I was on, and it was a very, very rough surface, and I was actually skating on it pretty decently. I don't think it's something that I would obviously recommend too much, but it was a like concrete mixed with stone, so it was very rocky and very hard, and the ATP wheels were doing a pretty good job compared to the 77Ds is what I was using as a control for like the, standard wheel. And I would go back and try and record that again, but I am at a little bit of a crunch of time, which you'll find out why. But I'm going to wrap up the review, and then we're going to talk about some things that I have coming up that I'm very excited for, and it's going to be your incentive for sitting through this review. That was not very clip heavy, and I apologize for that. Like I said with the Gen 2 Prodigy trucks, we're going to put them slightly below Hex trucks, just a little bit below. They still feel like a China truck, but them having those bubble bushings included is a huge plus. So if you're not a huge fan of the hexagonal hanger that Hex trucks have, I would pick up the Gen 2 Prodigy trucks. They're probably the best Chinas I've had besides the Hex trucks. 77D New Streets are sick. I'm going to use them all the time, all the time. They're great. I would buy them. They're $26 and they feel great. You need a budget set of wheels and you don't know where to go with Teak, because those are actually really solid. ATPs being a little bit of a softer wheel, but still having the slickness of a hard wheel is really interesting, and it's not really something that I've seen before. So super cool. It's wild seeing a wheel that's like a 65D, which normally has a little bit of grip and a little bit of squeak. These wheels slide all over the place. So if you do like really slick wheels, you could use these all the time, but I will not be, and they're going to be strictly an outdoor park concrete event kind of wheel. A couple of things that you stuck around for that I am going to spoil that I was not intending to spoil, but am going to as a thank you for watching this video, and also thank you for watching a video that was not very clip heavy, that ended up kind of shortcutting really fast, and I apologize for that, but I'm still new at this, so forgive me a little bit. So if you recently saw my rendezvous haul video, you remember I got this beautiful wooden tech deck from, I think this was 2008 or 2009. And I mentioned very briefly that if I found a set of 26mm dynamics, that I would take this out and set it up. I did also mention about this potentially being a misprint because Jeremy Rogers' name is spelled incorrectly. That's actually common, so it's not a misprint and it's not worth a ton of money, which bad beats, but I did get some 26mm dynamics and they're sitting on this little dynamic board right now, which look how adorable. I love it. But these are going to go on that, and that's going to be a whole video. We're going to take that out, we're going to unbox it, set it up with some 26mm dynamics, give it some foam tape, and we're going to skate it and see how it skates all of this time later. So I'm really excited for that video. I think it's going to be very fun. The other video that I'm currently working on is going to be a pretty big deck unboxing where we're going to be taking a look at a couple companies that you might not have heard of. Some of them have really interesting things about them, and I'm very excited to be taking a look and spotlighting some of these companies that you might not have heard of. I can reveal two of them right now. There's Stoned Decks and there's Bully, which Bully has a really cool thing about them. Their decks are a little different than what I've seen before. I have both of those in hand, and I have not looked super deep, but I have opened the package to take a peek, and they both look sick. So I'm super excited to look at both of those, and I'm trying to get 3 more, maybe. And we'll have like a nice, huge deck unboxing, look at some companies you might not have heard of, and maybe you'll find something you like. Last thing, and I'm very, very excited for this, we are going to be going to Sausage Fest, which if you have not heard of Sausage Fest, oh my God, I can't say Sausage Fest. Sausage Fest is going to be absolutely awesome. There's going to be amazing people. There's over 130 sponsors, so raffles are going to go absolutely insane. Tanner, who runs Sausage Ramps, who has made this amazing idea come to life, is going to have some really unique merch, t-shirts, hats, boards with like the Knobles and the date and everything. It's going to be so awesome. My teammate on Chakra, Steve, who on Instagram goes by Pure Joy, he made a hot dog fingerboard park that he's going to be raffling off. So you're going to have to fight me for it, but you have a chance. So if you live in Pennsylvania or you live in the surrounding area, come to Sausage Fest. It's going to be such an awesome time, and I can't wait for it. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Sorry we had some weird technical difficulties with the second half of the video, but hopefully this suffices enough and you're excited for some of the videos that are going to be coming forward. I am very excited for Sausage Fest, and I'm very excited to make an actual event video because pretty much I've just been sitting in my office chair the entire time for most of the videos. So I'm excited for this change of pace. So you guys like, comment, subscribe, let me know how you feel about the Teak products. If you tried them yourself, I definitely recommend those 77D wheels. Those are crazy. I am gonna continue using them like every day. So thank you guys again for checking out the video, and have a good one.